weather. It governs our world, bringing life, death, and destruction.
God damn it, go back.
We're fine.
Oh my God! It's drowning!
Wow. World's deadliest weather is back. Bigger and badder. This time we include deadly natural disasters.
One of the most terrifying moments of my life.
Featuring earth-shattering quakes.
Yo ahí vi pasar toda mi vida. Pero yo pensé que ya no la iba a lograr.
I saw an entire building collapse.
It was like something out of a movie.
And volcanoes.
It looks like all of my wildest dreams.
Using people's extraordinary self-shot footage.
We're gonna die, dude! We gotta get out of here! Mason, get away from the windows now!
And their death-defying stories.
I remember instantly thinking, I just watched her die.
I had to turn on my inner stunt driver and just get out of there quick.
I thought I was gonna burn alive.
We go eyeball to eyeball with Mother Nature.
It's crazy! It's crazy! Come on!
And witness up close
Get on there!
the all-consuming power of the elements.
The mountain was coming to get us.
Flash right there! This place is just hell.
It was just horrific.
I had never in my life experienced anything like that.
Everybody take cover! Now!
Coming up in this episode, a monster hurricane blasts a Caribbean island paradise into smithereens.
Rain started to come down like biblical rain, and the wind just went nuclear.
Out in the wilderness, raging rapids engulf a novice hiker. And baseball-sized hailstones turn a family home into a battlefield.
Boom, boom, boom.
Every time the hail hit, it was crazy.
Puerto Rico, Caribbean, September 2017. Just as the island was breathing a sigh of relief at a near miss with Category 5 Hurricane Irma, 12 days later, another monster hurricane called Maria loomed on the horizon. And this one was set to score a bullseye. Downtown in the capital, San Juan, student Laura Marrero was preparing for Armageddon.
Jesus, Mom. Why do you have so many plants?
This time we're getting directly hit by the thing. Like, the eye is gonna go right over us. It just went from Category 1 to Category 5, like this. I have to get some last-minute groceries for whatever outcome we go through.
It was more stressful because there wasn't very much supplies left after Hurricane Irma. You know, everything got sold out.
All right, so I just got the groceries, and they literally just closed everything, and they're like escorting people out of this little parking lot. There's like not a single wind. If you look at the trees, they're like almost perfectly still, which is obviously unusual. I'm not gonna lie, I am nervous.
While Laura was fearing the worst, in the eastern coastal resort of Humacao, where Maria was due to make landfall, storm chaser Josh Morgaman was in a high state of anticipation.
As a storm chaser, the curiosity side, it always just edges out the fear by just a hair, and that's why I go for it. That's why I chase. And once in a while when I go on a chase, I have this feeling, this one's gonna be big. And Maria was saying that to me. There was just this sense of something's coming. I chose a 4-story solid concrete hotel that I felt would protect me and that would stay up in those violent hurricane winds. Just in the last half hour or so, the wind started to get kind of a real tug to it. Branches are coming off the trees, and the communications are starting to get dicey. You know, when I look on the radar, I could see we're just gonna get much worse from here.
As Josh braced himself for a full-on battering, 35 miles away, on the outskirts of San Juan, Laura was at home with her mum, watching conditions steadily deteriorate.
Whoa. The wind is blowing against my window right now, and it just keeps getting worse and worse, and it's really scary. Now I can't sleep because of these gasps.
I was freaked out. I was trying to fall back asleep, but I couldn't.
Wow.
Every 30 seconds, a big whoosh would come towards my window, and I was like startled by it. I was like, I don't know what to do. And that's where I grabbed my camera and I started recording. Because, you know, the more I kept documenting the whole development of the storm, the better I felt because I distracted myself from what was going on.
By now, the hurricane's eye wall, the band with the most destructive winds, was sweeping over the island. Even though Maria had dissipated to Category 4, she still brought life-threatening 155-mile-per-hour winds.
We went downstairs, and when we opened the doors, like, all this rain and all this wind was, like, hitting the door. I was freaked out. Mom had to scream because it was really noisy outside. Whoa. My mom, she was very afraid. She's very religious, so she was holding a rosary like this, like, well, the whole time. Any little wind, any little gap, she's like freaking out. The winds and the water were gonna come in the house, we're gonna have total loss, we're gonna have to evacuate.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Something just fell on the roof. It just was like a big boom.
I just tried to like block it out because if I let my mom's fear get into me,
It's okay.
I wasn't gonna be able to, you know, get through it.
Oh my God.
Later, as Hurricane Maria winds herself up to full fury, storm chaser Josh has to rescue a family in dire trouble.
The whole building was vibrating. The windows were rattling like crazy. And I realized we were in trouble.
And Laura sees her once beautiful island transformed into apocalyptic hell.
Oh my God. This storm had no mercy.
A stealthy, invisible weapon in Mother Nature's armory is wind. When warm air rises, the pressure on Earth's surface is low. As cold air sinks, the pressure is high. It's the flow of air from one to the other that causes wind. In the Philippines, Typhoon Jelawat is the strongest cyclone of the 2012 season, with winds up to 160 miles per hour. Too much for this car that's tossed around like a rag doll. A rare instance of air deploying airbags. While over at Nanchang International Airport in China, the only liftoff should be by planes. But as strong winds huff and puff, they blow the roof off. Miraculously, everyone survived this assault. But for Terminal 2's steel awning, it proved terminal. If our cars and buildings can't withstand the strongest winds, how are us mere mortals expected to cope? Badly, as it turns out. In Russia, Siberian blasts hurtle shoppers headlong into a big snowdrift. Just to prove that's no fluke, the wily wind snares another hapless victim. Finally, this extreme force of nature can even invert nature itself, as demonstrated by this waterfall, or should I say water rise, in Norway. The irresistible power of wind forcing cascading water upwards. Gravity defying spookiness. Experienced hiker Chase Davidson loves nothing better than heading off-grid on the best trails nature can offer.
I just really like the freedom and being away from civilization. Being in the mountains, you don't have people around you and you just hear like the birds chirping and you never know what you're gonna come across when you're hiking.
Back in June 2017, Chase planned a trip to the Canadian Rockies, a rugged area of savage beauty near the city of Calgary. Invited along was best friend Corey Shuker for his first taste of wilderness adventure.
It was a beautiful day, like the sun was shining, just me and my friend, like about to have a great time.
Me and Corey, we just made it out to the Lake of the Hanging Glacier Recreation Trail in British Columbia. Boom. Here we go, overnight, 9K one way. Got all our gear, expecting to get there in a few hours.
I just remember like walking through one part and I looked over Chase's shoulder and all I seen was like a bear like hop and turn around and I seen his little tail like just wiggling away.
Just came across our first wildlife, but there is a boot. I like seeing the boot next to the bear. Actually, they're facing off each other. Hopefully, everyone's all right in that situation.
It was not a little bear, it was a really big bear, and like I was like shocked and I was like, oh my god, I just seen a bear.
While the presence of grizzlies hungry from hibernation was intimidating, a bigger threat was melting snow and ice.
Alright, so we came to our first stream here. So it's a small one.
They were warned to be especially careful of Hell Roaring Creek that had swollen into dangerous rapids.
We're doing this!
When I got to Hell Roaring Creek, I could hear a lot of rapids like right next to me as we were walking up the trail.
The speed of the water, it was fast for sure. We thought that the bridge was going to be in place to cross over. My initial reaction was like, no way, we're not going to be able to do this. And that's when we noticed a small anodized steel going across with the rope already attached.
Okay? Go slow.
Both of us debated whether it's worth risking it, and Corey was confident that he could do it.
All right, buddy.
The water temperatures were just barely above freezing. Within seconds, your feet were numb. Each step you took, although you felt that you had grip, you could feel it pushing into the bottom of your feet and having to lean your weight against the rope that's over top of the falls.
Hey! Corey!
As I see Chase got across, I felt a lot more at ease and I was like, okay, Chase got across, I definitely got this. Like, I know I could get across.
One step at a time!
One thing I didn't mention to him was how to put your weight on a rope when crossing something like that, and also the distortion that you get in your head when you have water rushing one way on the bridge and you're walking straight.
I start walking and I'm looking down, trying to watch my feet where I'm walking, and then I kind of like catch slack on the one side of the rope. And all I could think in my head was like, don't fall to the left, because if I fall to the left, I'm obviously going down those rapids. The rapids are were so strong, it sucked me right to the bridge. And as soon as I hit the bridge, it like kind of knocked the wind out of me. I could hear like all of this water like rushing through my ears, and all I could think is like, I need to hang on.
I was able to get my hand on Corey's, but the rapids were just too strong. I thought I was losing like my best friend at that moment.
Quick, grab this. Grab it. Pull. Pull, buddy. Pull. Pull. Use it. Use all your strength. Come on. Come on. Come on.
The water was freezing cold.
Get on there.
Took my breath away.
What? Come on. Come on.
I got so scared, but all I could think was like, oh my God, I need to get through this. I just hung on for my life.
Help. Come on. Come on. Come on. What? You stuck on what? Hang on me.
And until I tried to move forward, I realized that I can't move forward. I'm stuck. Eventually, like, my one leg is like starting to fall back in the water as I'm trying to pull myself forward and tell Chase to pull me because I don't know what I'm stuck on. I had 2 bungee cords hooked up to my sleeping bag, and that actually got hooked on the piece of steel, and I couldn't physically pull myself all the way forward. Chase had to reach over and unhook the extension cord, unhook my backpack because I couldn't even slide out of my backpack, and he had to pull me to safety.
Once I loosened the backpack, he started sliding back in again, and that was another pretty emotional part of the experience.
You're on the ropes around you, the ropes around you. Don't do that. I want to go home. Okay. Okay.
All I could think was like, oh my God. And like, I was just in shock. Like, I couldn't believe what happened.
Okay. I got you. Okay.
I gave him the biggest hug, and I'm pretty sure I told him like how much I love him.
Breathe, buddy, breathe.
If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I'd be here today.
Let's get up there, go up there. Okay? Go, buddy.
He saved my life.
As both were heavily traumatized, they decided to turn back and head home. The only snag, that meant recrossing the lethal girder.
Wait, listen to me, listen. You have to push that one that way.
The biggest thing I've learned from this experience was don't assume that you know everyone's skill level. Always, no matter what, when you're out with people on the trail, make sure that everyone's on the same mindset.
Nice and easy, nice and easy. There you go.
That it changed me like in a more of a positive way to like look at life like you don't know when things will happen or what will happen. You just gotta, I have to live life like every day is the best day ever.
Sometimes when Mother Nature gives us a good clobbering, some of us use our initiative and resourcefulness to rise above the misery. In Croatia, after torrential rain, this man's shop is flooded. But rather than wallow in his misfortune, he sits back, relaxes, and barely lifts a finger, bailing water out of his shop. Although even he's trumped by his next-door neighbor. In New York State, East Northport has turned into the North Pole, thanks to a heavy blizzard.
G, let's go! G!
With transport on the verge of paralysis, this man goes Eskimo and hitches up his Huskies for a sleigh ride down the main drag.
Good thing no one's out today. Say visibility is about 50 meters.
That's one ingenious way to get your morning milk.
Good dogs.
In rather warmer climes, in Moscow, Russia, this guy has found a clever way to combine his two favorite pastimes, chilling out and surfing. And takes laid-back surfer dude to a new dimension. Back in the frozen wastes of Minnesota, US, this kid's drawn the short straw of shoveling up the snow. But, thinking on his feet, he strapped his hoverboard to them. Now he has to barely move a muscle. But as we all know, even the best laid plans can come crashing down. When it comes to clearing snow, this man sensibly thinks 4 wheels is better than 2. Pimping his motorized mower with wood offcuts, he turns it into a ready-made snowplow. Brilliant. Just step on the gas and the yard's clear. It's snow time. Still to come.
Holy cow.
Supersized hail terrorizes a family, destroying their home around them.
Hail was coming from everywhere, and we were all just screaming.
And a cruel twist of fate puts a boat at the mercy of one of America's biggest storms.
That's probably the brunt of the storm. Right here at the window. Wow.
Earlier, we saw how Major Hurricane Maria had scored a direct hit on the Caribbean island, Puerto Rico, leaving its residents literally shaking with fear. As Maria rapidly escalated, it was giving storm chaser Josh Morganman everything he bargained for and more.
By 5 a.m., the winds were just whipping full-on hurricane force, and there was constant banging and crashing sounds. It was a scary feeling because you just felt like, wow, you know, there's not a whole lot between me and those winds, just this ceiling and this roof. And in the middle of all that, I heard a knocking at the door. And I went and opened the door. It was my neighbors across the hall, a family, a mom and a grandma and a little kid. The wind had smashed all the windows in their room.
Kids, just get in there.
So they had this look of terror in their eyes. They had nowhere to go.
Go in here, it's safer. Go in there.
I gave my guests pillows because in a situation with flying glass, you can cover your face and your head, and it offers some protection. And then it just started to get light. You could start to see the outline of the trees and the hurricane winds just waving like crazy. And as dawn came and as the light came, you could see that the landscape had been shredded by these winds. Around 6:20 or so, I noticed that things started to calm down. And what I didn't realize was that the worst was actually just about to hit. Rain started to come down like just biblical rain, and the wind just went nuclear. The whole building was vibrating. The windows were rattling like crazy. And I realized we were in trouble.
While Josh clung on in the concrete hotel, over in the municipality of Canavanas, buildings of less sturdy construction were faring far worse. As a shocked Juan Domingo Velez saw firsthand.
A las 6 de la mañana me levanté. El viento se sentía demasiado muy fuerte. Era como un sonido de un animal, como un sonido de un lobo. Bien fuerte, bien fuerte. Yo dije, Dios mío, este huracán va a acabar con esta casa, y así mismo fue.
Ay, se me va encima.
Que cuando levanta el techo, yo dije, ay, Dios mío, se lo va a llevar. Pegó a jamaquear. Así a los 10 segundos, vi que el techo levantó y volvió y bajó. Y en la segunda, como ya casi a 30 segundos, le levantó el techo completo, se lo llevó. Había como un remolino y pegó a tumbar la casa, a tumbar las paredes, a tumbar todo lo que estaba dentro, lo destruyó. En menos de 35 segundos la destruyó.
Pobre Nelly, coño. Amigos, nuestra vecina ha pedido por casa. Dios mío, madre.
Me fui a mi vecina a decirle que su casa se había ido con el huracán. Se quedó llorando, ¿verdad? Gritando que se había quedado sin su casa. Emocionalmente uno se sentía triste, muy triste de verdad.
More than 3 hours after the eye of the storm passed over his hotel, Josh was seeing signs Hurricane Maria was releasing her deadly grip.
A little before maybe 8 a.m., slowly, the energy started to calm down, and I realized, okay, we'd gotten through it. Hurricane Maria has passed, and it's left a lot of destruction in its wake. The winds here were ferocious. There's major damage to lots of roofs, to a ton of broken windows. Seems like every building and every house has broken windows. It looked like a bomb had been dropped on the town. The trees were just sticks. There was not a leaf on any tree. The landscape had just been scrubbed bare. In just a couple of hours, it was a horrible sight.
In a few hours, Hurricane Maria had wiped out the country's power, communications, infrastructure, and up to 250,000 properties. For lifelong resident Laura, seeing her once beautiful island home destroyed was heartbreaking.
Oh, thank God. I was really worried my car wouldn't start.
When I went out for the first time, that was like the biggest shock, because it's like everything that was there was no longer there. The storm was just a small thing. It was just, but it was the aftermath that was just awful.
It's not a nice sight. It looks very, very dark and sad. The winds had to be really, really strong to be able to do this. I mean, look at this. Wow. This storm had no mercy. Wow. It's like rows upon rows of trees down. Yeah, it's like a tree graveyard. Oh my God. Crazy.
You could have filmed like a post-apocalyptic movie in the settings of Puerto Rico. Seeing what I call home, all destroyed, it was very shocking to me. We've been on like a constant survival mode. The entire island is just going crazy. I mean, where I live at least is a little bit under control, but I've heard from friends that, you know, around the island there's a lot of theft going on because of, you know, having absolutely no power, no water, barely any gas. We do have gas, but it's being distributed very lightly. You lose your humanity in a way because you have to survive. It's awful. I got to a point where I wanted to get out of that island, and that's a lot for me to say because I'm a person that's very attached to home. Puerto Rico was uninhabitable.
2 weeks after Hurricane Maria, Laura and her mum boarded one of the few flights out of Puerto Rico for Miami to stay with relatives. 200,000 residents followed her. 3 months after this catastrophe, over 1.5 million people were still without power and under severe water rations. The estimated clear-up bill is expected to hit $90 billion.
I have massive respect for Mother Nature now that I didn't before. You see all these storms on TV and on the internet, and you think like, oh, that's awful, but I don't think it'll ever happen to me. But this storm definitely taught me that it doesn't matter where you live in the world, you're never safe when it comes to Mother Nature.
Dallas, Texas, April 2016. It was late spring, signaling highly volatile weather. As Taniqua and David Williams and their kids were leaving home, they were stopped by a flustered delivery man.
He said, "Where are you guys going?" We said, "Oh, we're going to basketball practice." And he said, "No, you guys don't need to go anywhere. There's a major storm coming. You need to stay inside."
He said, "You got about 15 minutes. We've had hailstorms here before, so the state of mind that we were in was, okay, it'll just be another, hailstorm with, pea-sized hail.
It went from light to dark. So I went outside and I immediately ran back in because the hail was so huge. If it would have hit me in the head, I probably would have had a concussion and ended up in the hospital.
And it wasn't even baseball size. It was about this big.
Holy cow!
I think we went into shock first. After the shock, it was just straight panic.
Hail was coming from everywhere, and we were all just screaming. It was scary.
Holy cow! What is it?
This is a matter of life and death.
Y'all better get away from these windows! Holy cow! Get away from the window! Everybody come right here! Everybody come right here!
That's when it kind of got bad. The lights went out and the glass started cracking. Every window in the backside of our house was broken.
Oh, God! Jesus!
At that point, we knew we were in danger.
Thunderclouds boiling over a mind-blowing 50,000 feet, higher than most airliners fly, were generating supersized hail that was obliterating roof tiles, windows, and even trashing cars. Across town, paramedic Mike Ziem was home alone when the freakish storm hit.
I really thought it was going to be a typical thunderstorm. We're Texas. My big concern came when I started hearing huge baseball-sized objects hitting windows. The windows are blowing out. And there's windows obliterated. It is literally 360 degrees around you. That's crazy. This sound of rocks hitting your house, the sound is almost deafening. You think the house is going to start crumbling in on you. Look at the size of that monster. A rock the size of the stones that were falling here could easily kill somebody if they're struck in the head with this. You could have a serious head injury. These wind gusts are amazing. Holy cow.
By now, the hailstones were weighing up to 1.5 pounds and raining down at over 100 miles per hour. At the Williams house, it was like a battlefield.
It was literally hailing through the roof.
It sounded like bombs. Every time the hail, boom, boom, boom. Every time the hail hit, it was crazy.
Everybody get right here.
I was so nervous that we were about to lose everything. And so I was trying to keep everybody calm, but I was not calm inside. It was horrific.
I was petrified. I thought I was going to die.
When you have small children, you're supposed to be there to protect them from everything. I think the hailstorm lasted about 6 minutes.
It seemed like it took an eternity, like it took forever.
That day, our house was broken. It was destroyed. I was scared that I had lost the home that I grew up in. I was terrified that I may never get it back. I always remember that day because, it changed our lives.
The Dallas hailstorm wrecked the Williams house so extensively they were forced to move out for 18 months. Incredibly, the repair bill topped $100,000, and not all was covered by insurance.
It's not something that's gonna go away ever. Like, every time I look at my house, I'm gonna always remember how it used to be. I'll never forget it.
It made me realize that the weather isn't something you should play with, isn't something you should take lightly. When I hear that there's a storm coming, I feel anxiety. I feel terrified that if the weather does turn bad, how would I be safe?
Hail is formed from tiny droplets that freeze into ice as they ascend in updrafts. Then, like lottery balls mixing in a tumbler, they collect more and more layers, until too heavy, they plummet to Earth. Not ideal if you're one of these motorists in Brisbane, bombarded by golf ball-sized missiles. But it still makes an entertaining spectacle for the people watching ringside. This is one bad time to get stuck in a jam. Large hailstones plummeting at up to 100 miles per hour and wrecking your car is stressful enough. But throw in 3 screaming toddlers, and it's enough to send your blood pressure through the roof. To make matters worse, there's a long queue to leave school, so they all have to soak up the punishment. A shattered rear windscreen isn't helping the mood one bit.
Very brave. You went through something that not many people go through.
But Mum knows a magic trick that will restore happiness in an instant.
We're gonna get ice cream after this, okay? Okay, Nora? Yeah. All right? Yeah.
A winner every time. Camping can be a miserable experience at the best of times. But when large, lethal chunks of ice assault you, it's time to pack up and go home. The last thing this Dutch family are expecting in sunny Costa Brava, Spain, is this barrage from Mother Nature. Unfortunately, their rather flimsy tent is offering scant protection. And sure enough, the whole rickety structure soon comes crashing down. Camping. It ain't all it's cracked up to be. In Montana, US, these kids' fun day of inner tubing down the river is brought to an abrupt halt as they come under attack from the heavens. Being caught out in the open makes this iced onslaught particularly painful. In desperation, they cower under their inner tubes. Although it's a mystery why they don't just get into the school bus behind them.
I just went to the shop to get some dumplings, and then this happened.
Yes, this is Mother Nature's dumplings, but they are frozen rock-hard ice. Don't taste particularly nice and hurt real bad when they hit you. so best not run the gauntlet with a tiny brolly. This 2014 Brisbane hailstorm led to over 15,000 car claims and $1.3 million of damages, all from little balls of ice. The low-lying bay of Galveston in Texas is extremely vulnerable to big storms. And back in September 2008, a monster was brewing, Hurricane Ike. With a massive storm surge predicted, the dive support vessel, the Odyssey, chose to try and dodge Ike with the help of deckhand Joe Bussey.
The reason why I was on the boat during the hurricane is I'm the go-to guy. And there's nothing that I can't get done. And anytime they had an issue or trying to get a job done or whatever, they could call me, no matter if it's dirty, nasty. I don't complain.
I came in from LA last night, and I'm currently in Galveston right now, and we're taking the boat up into Upper Bay Galveston, but we're gonna try to keep the boat out of the hurricane's waves. So hopefully we can save this boat.
I was under the impression that we were gonna get out of the way. So we're getting there, and I'm thinking, well, when's this thing hitting? Oh, it's not till 12 hours. That we can go a long ways in 12 hours. And all of a sudden, they're saying like, hey, can you help us with the anchors? And I'm like, why? Why are we stopping? We're just gonna throw a bunch of anchors out the front and batten down the hatches, and we'll be all right. I was like, okay. Looks all right, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen.
Hurricane Ike had tricked the Odyssey's skipper by weakening to a Category 3 storm. But at nightfall, it had roared back up to Cat 4, and the Odyssey was a sitting duck.
That hurricane, it looked solid, and it had the size of the outskirts, almost the size of Texas. And I turned around and I see all the rain going sideways. This is scaring me. I don't know if you can see it right now, but this is probably the brunt of the storm. Right here at the window. Whoa! Check it out. And that's when I got my camera, because that's always in the back of my mind. I might die. How can I like take this camera and put it in a like Ziploc bag and float it? Why is he gone? Here's my message in a bottle. Wind is just pounding you like you're on a motorcycle doing 100 miles an hour. You get this one gush of wind and it tilts the boat like this, and it's the most this boat has ever been tilted. The scariest part, when things and objects that have been around this boat for many years were flipping over. Thrown around. Yeah, that was scary. All of a sudden, it all dissipated.
The Odyssey had survived the worst battering of her life. The sheer force of Hurricane Ike had dragged 1,000 pounds of deeply embedded anchors almost a mile. It also left self-confessed thrill-seeker Joe a little bit more circumspect.
I saw the devastation on Galveston Island. I saw how it tore everything up. And I was spared. If you don't respect it, it's gonna bite you in the ass.
Waves come in regular sets and are largely predictable beasts. But on the odd occasion, you can get a crafty one that's bigger and can take you by surprise. Welcome to the sneaker wave. in the crystal clear waters off Laguna Beach, California, this woman is soaking up her anniversary treat. But then, out of the blue, Sneaky Sneaker Wave comes along and gives her a damn good dowsing.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit further up the coast in Santa Barbara, these diners are having a whale of a time in Moby Dick Restaurant, watching the brooding sea while snacking on seafood.
Oh, yeah, I've got a big second.
Then, out of nowhere, a monster rears up.
Oh, it's a big one. That's a big one. Oh, damn.
Oh, my God.
Providing their surf and turf with an extra helping of surf. Still in California, this girl is doing her best mermaid on a rock impression. The key to this is to maintain your balance and pose seductively for the camera. But old Sneaker Wave is no romantic and dumps her unceremoniously onto the beach. Her audition for Splash sadly ending in a, splash.
Ha!
This Sneaker Wave is in fact a huge tidal bore running up an estuary. It's a spectacle that has got the crowds out in China. The only problem with these waves is they are immensely powerful, as this lot are about to find out. Apart from a good dunking, they were all right, but wetter and a little bit wiser. In this episode, we've seen Mother Nature vent all her power. We've seen how helpless we can be. We've seen her tear down, destroy, and laugh in our faces. And next time, there will be more. Because deadly weather stops for no one.